This is GST211, History and Philosophy of Science. The topic is Environmental Effects of Plastics, Textile Waste and Other Materials by Y. Mohammed, PhD. Plastic is a material made up of polymers that can be molded or shaped, usually by the application of heat and pressure. Properties that allow plastics to be made into a great variety of products are plasticity, low density, low electrical conductivity, transparency, and toughness. Plastics include tough and lightweight beverage bottles made of polyethylene terephthalate (PET), flexible garden hoses made of polyvinyl chloride (PVC), insulating food containers made of foamed polystyrene, and shatterproof windows made of polymethyl methacrylate. Now, categories and classification of plastics. Before we talk of the plastic waste and their effects, we have to know the categories and classification of plastics. Plastics are generally categorized according to 1. Chemical structure of the polymer base and side chains. The classifications of plastics include acrylics, polyesters, silicones, polyurethanes, and halogenated plastics. Plastics are also categorized according to the chemical process used in their synthesis, such as cross-linking, condensation, and polyaddition. You know, most plastics are synthesized, they are not natural. So, depending on the process that is used to synthesize them, that's how you come about this categorization. That's cross-linking again, condensation, and polyaddition. There are types of plastics. We have thermoplastics and thermosets. Thermoplastics are plastics that do not undergo a chemical change in their composition when heated, and hence they can be molded several times. Examples are polypropylene (PP), polyethylene (PE), polyvinyl chloride (PVC), and polystyrene (PS). The other type of plastic, they are thermosets. These are polymers. Polymers are plastics that can melt and mold into any shape. Only once they will undergo an irreversible chemical reaction when heated. Hence, if heated again, they decompose instead of melting. Uses of plastics. Plastics in packaging help keep food healthy and fresh. Second one, as durable and lightweight plastics have helped in the field of electronics, from computers and cell phones to TV and refrigerator. Nearly all of the appliances around us use plastics. 3. Plastics help in making safety gears such as helmets, goggles, etc. Then, plastics are also useful in the construction sector because of their low maintenance and high durability. Next one, because of plastic strength and its lightweight properties, it is useful in making toys, electrical switches, and other household goods. Then, as it is non-reactive to air and water, they help store water in plastic bottles and chemicals in chemical laboratories. Plastic is a weak conductor of electricity and heat, so its insulation properties help in the coating of electrical wire and various household products like utensils, handles, etc. Now, textiles. Textile is an umbrella term that includes various fiber-based materials, including fibers, yarns, filaments, threads, different fabric types, etc. At first, the word textiles only referred to woven fabrics. These are fabrics that are woven. However, weaving is not the only manufacturing method, and many other methods were later developed to form textile structures based on their intended use. Knitting and non-woven are other popular types of fabric manufacturing. In the contemporary world, textiles satisfy the material needs for versatile applications, from simple daily clothing to bulletproof jackets, space suits, and doctor's gowns. Significance of textiles. Textiles are all around us. The textile is a component of basic needs like food and shelter. Textiles are everywhere in our lives, from bath towels to spacesuits. Textiles help humans by comforting, protecting, and extending their lives. Textiles meet our clothing needs, keeping us warm in the winter and cool in the summer. There are several applications for plastics, such as medical textiles, intelligent textiles, and automotive textiles. All of them contribute to the well-being of humans. Groups of textiles. We have the consumer textiles. These are textiles have an assortment of uses, the most common of which are for clothing and for containers such as bags and baskets. In the household, textiles are used in carpeting, upholstered furnishings, window shades, bags, and baskets. In the household, textiles are used in carpeting, upholstered furnishings, window shades, towels, coverings for tables, beds, and other flat surfaces. And in art, textiles are used in many traditional handcrafts, such as sewing, quilting, and embroidery. The next group of textiles is the technical textiles. These are textiles produced for industrial purposes and designed and chosen for technical characteristics beyond their appearance, are commonly referred to as technical textiles. Technical textiles include textile structures for automotive applications, medical textiles such as implants, geotextile, that's reinforcement of embankments, agrotextiles, that's textiles for crop protection, protective clothing such as clothing resistant to heat and radiation, for firefighting clothing, against molten metals, for welders, stab protection, and bulletproof vests. Use and application of plastics. Clothing items for men, women, and children, nightwears, sportswears, lingerie, undergarments, swimsuits. Accessories such as caps, umbrellas, socks, gloves, and handbags constitute clothing. Furnishing. Upholstery, curtains, draperies, carpets, towels are all under furnishing. Beddings. When you have bed sheets, blankets, pillows, they are all under beddings. Agrotextiles. Agrotextiles are used in agriculture, horticulture, aquaculture, landscape gardening, and forestry, mainly for crop protection in crop development, for instance, shade nets, thermal insulation, and sunscreen materials, windshield, anti-bird nets, covering livestock protection, suppressing weed and insect control, etc. User application of textiles continued. We have the geotextiles. Technical textiles which are used in civil engineering, roads, airfields, railroads, embankments, retaining structures, reservoirs, canals, dams, bank protection, coastal engineering and construction site, silt fences, and protection of melting glaciers. We have automatic textiles. These are airbags, seat belts, headliners, upholstery, car carpets, and door card. We have medical textiles. These are implants, sutures, bandages, medical gowns, face masks, etc. Indutech. This particular sector includes conveyor belts, drag belts, ropes, and cordages, filtration products, glass battery separators, degatizing and bolting cloth, AGM, that's absorption glass mats, plasma screens, coated abrasives, composite materials, printed circuit boards, printer ribbons, seals, gaskets, paper making fabrics. Fiber sources. Natural fibers. Natural fibers are obtained from plants, animals, and minerals. Since prehistoric times, textiles have been made from natural fibers. Natural fibers are further categorized as cellulosic, also called vegetable or plant fibers, and include cotton, linen, jute, hemp. We have the protein, also called animal fibers, and include wool and silk, and mineral, including asbestos and glass fibers. Synthetic fibers. Synthetic of man-made fibers are manufactured through chemical synthesis. These sources include nylon, polyester, acrylic, olefins, etc. Semi-synthetic. A subset of synthetic or man-made fibers is semi-synthetic fiber. Rayon is classified as a semi-synthetic fiber made with natural polymers. These include rayon, acetate, and triacetate. Plastic wastes. Since synthetic plastics are largely non-biodegradable, they tend to persist in natural environments. Moreover, many lightweight single-use plastic products and packaging materials, which account for approximately 50% of all plastics produced, are not deposited in containers for subsequent removal to landfills, recycling centers, or incinerators. Instead, they are improperly disposed of at or near the location where they end their usefulness to the consumer, dropped on the ground, thrown out of a car window, heaped onto an already full trash bin, or inadvertently carried off by a gust of wind. They immediately begin to pollute the environment. Indeed, landscapes littered by plastic packaging have become common in many parts of the world. Illegal dumping of plastics and overflowing of containment structures also play a role. Studies from around the world have not shown any particular country or demographic group to be most responsible, though population centers generate the most litter. The causes and effects of plastic pollution are truly worldwide. Recycling. Compared with materials in common use in the first half of the 20th century, such as glass, paper, iron, and aluminium, plastics have a low recovery rate. That is, they are relatively inefficient to reuse as recycled scrap in the manufacturing process because of significant processing difficulties, such as a low melting point, which prevents contaminants from being driven off during heating and reprocessing. Most recycled plastics are subsidized below the cost of raw materials by various deposit schemes, or their recycling is simply mandated by government regulations. Recycling rates vary dramatically from country to country, and only Northern European countries obtain rates greater than 50%. In any case, recycling does not really address plastic pollution, since recycled plastic is properly disposed of, whereas plastic pollution comes from improper disposal. Textile wastage. Textile wastage can be defined as the material that becomes unusable or worthless after the end of the production process of any textile product. Wastage produced in every stage of the textile manufacturing process, such as spinning, weaving, knitting, and dyeing, finishing, and clothing. Types of textile waste. One of the pre-consumer textile waste, it is also called production wastes and is generated from the first phase of the supply chain. The consumer never sees pre-consumer waste produced during industrial processing of textiles by the manufacturer. It includes scraps, damaged or defective material samples, fabric salvages, and leftover fabric from the cutting process. On an average, about 50% of fabrics used in garment production is cut, discarded, and wasted. The fabrics that are made from 100% degradable material like cotton, linen, silk, hemp are recycled into a compost or upcycled into a value-added product. Synthetic textiles can be upcycled into composites and building blocks to be used in construction or soundproofing applications. The next one is the post-consumer textile waste. These are household articles or garments that the owner does not require anymore and discards. The out of fashion, damaged clothes with fitting issues come under this category. Conventionally, all textiles are recycled again to fit into some household activities as a mop or wash cloth. But with the current invasion of disposable textiles, the use and throw approach is quite popular. So all textiles are thrown away. A disheartening fact is that the majority of the population has lost the art of mending or repairing of clothing and accessories. Thus, a change in consumer psychology has created harmful situation. The next one is industrial textile waste. It is generated from industrial applications and includes conveyor belts, filters, geotextiles, and wiping rags. On wear and tear of a particular component, the waste components are thrown away. In most cases, it is inevitable and open for downcycling, upcycling, and recycling options. Many companies work on this waste and try to convert the waste into an asset, thus leading to circular economy. Reason for textile waste. Attitude towards textiles. Attitude towards textiles are fast fashion, frequency of shopping, lack of awareness on sustainability, lack of eco-friendly practices, no strict government policies, lack of quality materials, less popular second-hand clothing, consumers lack knowledge on textile care and maintenance, industrialization. These 10 items they give us, that is what generates textile waste. Let's go back again. When you say attitude towards textiles, in some countries like India, they can change textiles from one thing to the other. A sari in India can be changed into a cotton, it can be changed into so many things. But in other climes, once a cloth is damaged, it is just thrown away. And fast fashion, because of the fast fashion, you find there's always a, what do you call it, increase in clothing materials, increase of fashion is increase the turnover of textiles. Frequency of shopping, because now people shop more because they have more money, they shop more, so they tend to have more textiles than they require. Lack of awareness and stability. People are not even aware of the damage they are causing by having so many clothes in their wardrobe. The lack of eco-friendly practices. Practices of eco-friendly is not there. And then there are no strict government policies. Government don't have policies to create awareness. They don't have policies to do away with textile waste and whatever. And then less popular second-hand clothing. People don't buy second-hand clothing again. You see a lot of second-hand clothing and then people go for new ones. And even people use on second-hand clothing, you find that textile waste will be minimal. Consumers' lack of knowledge on textile care and maintenance and also industrialization. Environment. What is environment? Environment means anything that surrounds us. It can be living, that's biotic, or non-living, that's abiotic things. It includes physical environment, chemical environment, and other natural forces. Living things live in their environment. They constantly interact with it and adapt themselves to conditions in their environment. In the environment, there are different interactions between animals, plants, soil, water, and other living and non-living things. Types of environment. Aquatic environment involves the environment that involves water, because aqua is water in Greek. So aquatic environment, you see fish, crabs, shells, crocodiles, they are all within the aquatic environment. You have the atmospheric environment, that's in the atmosphere, where we breathe our gas, where there's interaction, exchange of gases. We breathe in carbon dioxide, we breathe in oxygen generated by the plants, and we breathe out carbon dioxide that is taken in by the plants to generate our own oxygen. So, and also we have so many things in the environment. And the better our environment, atmospheric environment, the better of our lives. And then you have terrestrial environment, that's the environment that's on the land. Things that include the plants, that whatever that is on land, that's the terrestrial environment. Effect of plastic waste on the environment. Plastic waste in oceans is of great concern, because all the plastic that are generated on land, ultimately they are transported to the oceans by water. Drains, they end up in small streams, the small streams, they end up in rivers, and then the river, they end up in oceans. And all the plastic waste, all the water bottle waste, all the pure water plastics, all the waste now, most of the waste, they end up in the ocean. At the end of the day, they are not going to be good for the environment in the ocean. It will destroy the aquatic environment in the ocean. Plastic pollution on land. You see, plastic being non-biodegradable, it stays for many, many years on the soil. So at the end of the day, the more plastic you have under the ground, the more dangerous effects it has on farming. So if efforts are not taken to take care of the plastic pollution on the land, one day you find that even the agricultural land will not be there to generate our food. Also, you have plastic pollution by plastic additives. You have additives, you add some things when making the plastics, and then this generates plastic pollution. Effect of textile pollution on the environment. Textile pollution, textiles have a very terrible environment pollution on the water pollution. It causes water pollution, it destroys the water that we have. Also land pollution, and also noise pollution, and also toxic waste. The top 10 ways to reuse, reduce, and recycle our clothes. 1. You increase the number of times you wear your clothes. You repair, that's you increase the number of times you wear your clothes. Now, what it means is that once, if you have a cloth that you use maybe once in 6 months, it's better you use it now once in 3 months. Thus, you are using the clothes. The more clothes, the more you use the existing clothes, the less likely you'd like to buy new ones. Also, repair your existing clothes. When you have your existing clothes, because you are well-to-do, then the moment that your clothes get torn, then you throw it away. You are not helping the environment at all. It's better that you repair it and continue using it. And also look after your clothes. Also buy quality over quantity. Instead of buying 20 clothes that are of bad quality, why don't you buy only 5 that are good quality and you reuse them? By this, you are minimizing the quantity of taxes that you have on the environment. Then buy clothes made out of eco-friendly materials. Eco-friendly materials, these are clothes from natural fibers like cotton, silk, and whatever, because this one, they are eco-friendly, they are biodegradable. After a short time, they will just disappear. Also, there's an avenue where you can even rent clothes, although shop, preloved, and also donate.